Good morning. It is just before 9 o'clock. We had a wake-up call of 5 o'clock this morning. We had to set the cars on two very long dirt roads. So we left one vehicle at Bowman Lake trailhead, and then we drove 22-ish miles on dirt roads to Kintla Lake, and that is where we are beginning our hike. We are thankful that it is cool, although you can see the sun coming in. So we are setting off for a 3-day, 2-night backpack. Each day is about 11 to 12 miles of hiking. 11 to 14 miles of hiking. Today is about 12. And we are headed to the Upper Kintla Lake campground. So we're on foot. We are expecting to spend a lot of time hiking next to Kintla Lake. Then we'll have a clearing between Kintla and Upper Kintla. And then eventually we will reach the lake that we are camping at. The lakes out here, the ones that are at the base of the mountains like this, are just massive. Like 4 to 7 miles long, just really long and narrow. They're beautiful. They have mountain views at the end of it. You can see how the glaciers that formed them like carved through these valleys and created places for these bodies of water. Well, we have made it beyond Kintla Lake. We're on the section between Kintla and Upper Kintla, doing mostly climbing, a little bit of downhill right here. And it is hot as heck. We have made it to the Upper Kintla Lake portion of this hike, and those blue waters are like a siren calling to me. Keep wanting to jump off the trail and dive in. We've found some shade, which is awesome, at least intermittent, and there's a cool breeze, also intermittent but coming off of the lake. And man, when those things hit at the same time, it is glorious out here. So pretty. It's going to be our hanging out and food preparation area. We'll hang all of our scented items as instructed by the park. We are doing so immediately upon entering the campsite. And this is our view from the food area. Let's go find a campsite. Okay, we got a map of the campground coming up, and I see, I think Sweet. Yeah, this one is really sunny. So we're gonna keep looking. Yeah, this is good. We got, it's a little sloped, but not as bad. And plenty of room. Well, we're calling it a night. We got to camp around 1:45. Enjoyed a very leisurely afternoon sitting in the shade of the food prep area and watching this magical lake. Tomorrow's a big climb.
And a cool place to stay.
Yeah. All right. See you then. Good morning. It is day 2 of our backpacking trip, and we are on the trail by 6:45 this morning. We set our alarms pretty early to try to get this climb up and over with. It's going to be about a 3,300 foot climb in the first 6 miles, and of course it's not evenly spread out, so it's going to suck, but as you can see here, we're coming around really into the mountains, leaving the lake and rising. So we're really excited about what we're going to see and experience later today. We reached Boulder Pass. We're still probably climbing up a little bit of it, but the worst of the climb, knock on rock, should be behind us. And it's so cool up here. It's different than any other pass we've seen in this park, which granted we've only seen like Logan Pass, Saidi Pass, Began Pass. That might be it. So we don't have the most experience, but it's much more like bowl-like and kind of like there's a lot of valley up here, like a hanging, floating sort of meadow that we haven't seen in Glacier before. We've seen more steep drop-offs into waterfall valleys.
Yeah.
So
That meadow here.
we're gonna come around Boulder Pass and then
It looks like a glacier.
drop into an area called Hole in the Wall, and then eventually make our way to Brown Pass for the night. So it's an alpine day in Glacier National Park. How you doing?
Huh?
How you doing?
Great.
Me too. We are continuing to make our way toward Brown Pass. We're starting to get glimpses of where we'll head tomorrow. So that's Bowman Lake. It's a very, very big lake. So once we arrive at the head of it, we'll still have like 7 or 8 miles to get to our parking spot, which is at the foot of it. Probably gonna get another early start, but one thing at a time. We should have less than an hour until camp. Quick little update. We set up camp at Brown Pass. It's kind of not very exciting. It is quite the hubbub of activity though. A lot of people coming through it either on their way down or on their way up for hiking, and then people are heading in different directions. So it's just kind of this like intersection of activity. It's also full tonight. There's 3 campsites there and all 3 are full. So after sitting around for a little bit, we decided to go ahead and tackle one more side hike. So this time we came down to Lake Francis, which is gorgeous. The trail here was miserably overgrown, like absolutely terrible. Oh, but this is so pretty. So at least for now, we love it. And when I have to hike back up, then I'll curse its name again. All right, it's day 3, last day of the backpack. We are headed out from camp bright and early at 6:30. The 5:30 wake up call felt a little too early today. Super snuggly in our bags and tents, but we want to try to beat as much of the heat of the day as we can. So we are off. Hitch is in front, Kelly is in the back, and we are headed down the Bowman Lake Trail. The whole day just on this trail. 14 miles to the car. Oh, the views are great to get us started. That was marshmallows. So this shelf up here is where we hiked yesterday. We came up through this pass around this mountain, and then we hiked all the way out there. Yeah, that's Brown Pass up there, the little saddle.
Yeah.
And then we've been making our way down. This backpacking loop has been pretty spectacular. Not always the easiest of conditions, a good bit of overgrown trail specifically, but I think that's just par for the course out in the wilderness out here. There's just too many miles for the park to go through and brush it and take all the overgrowth out regularly. So we started at Kintla Lake. We left one car at Bowman Lake and drove our second car up to Kintla Lake. It's about a 20-mile shuttle on dirt road, so it took a ton of time to set our cars. And then we stayed at two different campsites, at Upper Kintla Lake and at Brown Pass. And both sites were fine. Upper Kintla was really nice. Brown was just okay. All the sites in Glacier have pit toilets and bear hangs for you to put your food up on. Food and all scented items. They also have food preparation areas where you're supposed to do all of your food prep as well as your eating. And in general, those are kind of like hangout spots around camp. They're really nice with lots of logs to sit on. And if it's a site where fires are allowed, they have fire pits. But fires are not allowed in most places. The route we took was really good for 3 days. A little strenuous, but not too much. There's plenty of options if you wanted to do this hike and take 4 days or 3 nights. You could stay at Upper Kintla and then Hole in the Wall and then Brown Pass or then Bowman. You could stay at Boulder Pass. It's a really pretty site that we saw. So I think there's a really good assortment of things you can do out here if you're looking to experience it at a more leisurely pace. As our summer is winding down, we're really thankful for all the time that we've had to be outside and just the amazing things that we've been able to see. This backpack in Glacier was carefully planned, but when we're planning so many back to back, it kind of got overlooked with excitement, but it definitely lived up to and exceeded the hype that we had seen about it. And yeah, we just really can't be more thankful for what we've gotten to experience in the last few days. Your bites are like 4 times the size of mine.